Hey y'all, my name is Yvette and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the books I want to read for round 3 of the middle grade magic readathon. I'm depending on my library for most of the books on this TBR, so I might read them, I might not, but I am excited about all of them. But before I get into my TBR, we have a giveaway this year. One winner will be receiving a copy of Ophi's Ghost by Justina Ireland, which is a middle grade about a girl who could see ghosts in the 1920s. Her mother gets a new job as a maid in a manor and she strikes up a friendship with one of the ghosts there. If you want to enter the giveaway, what you have to do is leave a comment in this video or a comment in one of my co-host videos and tell us who is your favorite middle grade author. And if you don't read a lot of middle grade, or if you don't have a favorite author, then just tell us who you want to read from. In order to enter the giveaway, you have to be 18 years or older and willing to share a mailing address if you win. And this is also an international giveaway and you can only enter once. Also, be sure to leave your Instagram or Twitter handle in the comments so we know where to reach you. And if not, be sure to keep an eye on your YouTube notifications and we can contact you that way. And the giveaway is open until July 10th. So now on to my TBR. The first book I want to read is The Last Cuentista by Dana Barba Higuera. So in this book, Earth has been destroyed and a few hundred scientists and their families have been relocated to a new planet. In the transfer, a group called the Collective has decided to purge everyone's memories of Earth. But a 12-year-old girl named Petra has kept all of her memories and she has to decide what she's going to do with all this forbidden knowledge and Mexican folklore that she has kept a hold of. This would fulfill the prompt of Ana Mariana: read a book featuring your trope that you love. And I'm not sure if this is a trope, but it's something I've seen in like The Giver and The Deep by River Solomon, where you have one person holding all of the memories and traumas of a community. The Deep is absolutely brilliant and I love how River Solomon explored that, and it seems like this book might be doing something similar. And I just really like that idea of without understanding and knowing your past, you don't really have a future. I also chose this book for this TBR because I got this as an ARC from the publishers. It comes out in August and I'm really hoping I can read it before it comes out. I have a pretty good feeling that I'm going to like it because I like the author's previous book, Lupe Wong Won't Dance. The next book I'm hoping to read for the middle grade magic readathon is Res Dogs by Joseph Bruchac. This book is by an Anunnaki author and will cover the prompts of Katherine Applegate. Read a book with an animal protagonist or strong supporting character. Possibly, I won't know until I read it, but from the title I'm pretty sure we'll cover this prompt. And also the prompts of Kwame Alexander: read a book in verse, and Hannah Khan: read a book with themes of family. This is about a girl who is visiting her grandparents on the reservation when COVID hits, and she hunkers down there with her family instead of traveling back home. And while she's there, her grandmother tells her stories about how their family has survived previous epidemics and more, and how they survived this pandemic just like they survived everything else with the support of their community. And she also becomes best friends with the res dog that guards her grandparents' home. I haven't read a book that deals with COVID yet because why would I put myself through that when we are very much still going through COVID? But this book sounds amazing and the audiobook is only 2 hours, which makes this perfect for readathon. The next book I want to read is King and Dragonflies by Kacen Callender, and this would go for the prompt of Kacen Callender: read a queer book. Kacen Callender is a black trans author that I really like. I've read 2 of their previous books and I rated them both 5 stars, so I'm going into this with very high hopes. And this would also go for the prompt of Frances Hardinge: read a book that challenges assumptions about middle grade, because this book looks like it's going to be dealing with some pretty heavy themes and topics. This book is about 12-year-old Kingston James, whose brother Khaled has just died, and Kingston believes that Khaled has been turned into a dragonfly. His family is dealing with the grief of losing Khaled, but Khaled is still visiting him in his dreams. But before he died, Khaled told Kingston to stay away from his best friend Sandy because he thought Sandy might be gay. But then Sandy goes missing and Kingston finds out that Sandy is fleeing from his abusive father, and they make plans to run away together. An amazing premise, an author I love, and I'm really looking forward to this one. The next book I want to read is Cecerios and the Desert of Souls by Kayla Rivera. This is a debut from a Mexican-American author and it would cover the prompt of Jason Reynolds: read an Own Voices book that deals with issues outside of a character's marginalization. This is about a girl named Cece who lives in a remote desert town that's threatened by criaturas. One day, her sister is kidnapped by a powerful criatura and she has to go on a quest to get her sister back, and to do that she has to become a bruja, which is forbidden. I haven't seen a ton of people talk about this book, but it did only come out in April and what I have seen has looked pretty good. And also I am a sucker for books about sisters, so I'm really hoping this one's gonna be good. The next book I'm hoping to read is Race to Crash Point by Daniel Jose Older. Daniel Jose Older is an Afro-Latinx author and this would go for the prompt of Tahereh Mafi: read a book that would take you out of this world. I don't really know much about this book besides that it's a Star Wars Wars High Republic book, and it's following a Padawan. I recently read Light of the Jedi, which is kind of the opening to the High Republic era, and I thought that book was okay, but it had a bit too many characters for me, and it was just a very like big story, and those two things combined made it very hard to connect with the characters that were there. But if anything, that book got me excited to read other High Republic books that were a bit smaller in scope and focused on less characters, and I'm hoping to start reading High Republic books during this readathon. And also, Daniel Jose Older is one of those authors who I have a lot of faith in, that when I go into one of his books, I know I'm going to like it. I've read 3 of his middle grades and a couple of his Star Wars things, so I can't wait to see what he does with a middle grade Star Wars novel. And finally, the last book I'm hoping to read for this readathon is The Last Fallen Star by Gracie Kim. This is another debut and a part of the Rick Riordan Presents imprint, and this would go for the challenge of Gracie Kim, read a book that involves folktales, fairy tales, mythology, or storytelling. This follows a Korean American girl named Riley O who was adopted into a family of healing witches. She has no magic herself, so she's become kind of the odd one out, and she just really wants to practice magic with the rest of her family. Her sister is about to go through an initiation that will allow her to use magic without adult supervision, and during this initiation they perform a spell that will allow her to share her magic with Riley. However, in doing so, they unknowingly violate the rules of the God realm, and it puts Riley's sister's life at risk. And now Riley has to go on a quest to find the last fallen star to save her sister's life. Again, another book about sisters, so I'm already there and ready to have a good time. But also, this book is supposed to deal with themes of what it means to be family and what it means to belong, and if it can deliver on that premise, then I'm going to just melt into a big old puddle of emotions. And that is going to be it for my TBR for round 3 of the middle grade magic readathon. I didn't cover every prompt that we have for this round, but I still feel like this TBR is pretty ambitious for me, and I am like genuinely excited for every single book I've talked about. Before you go, make sure to enter our giveaway. It's open until July 10th, and also check out my co-host TBR videos. We should all be going up on the same day. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.